and I'm gonna go with you over the trainers for this topic that is gonna be the refunds for Mercari. So these are the two files that you're gonna have access. This is gonna be the actual presentation. The title is refunds, and the other one is the facilitator's guide. So in the facilitator's guide, you're gonna be able to find, the general information, what is the desired outcome. So at the end of this session, what we want the participants to be able to do. We're gonna have the before the session. This is a quick checklist for you to make sure that you have everything ready with the links to everything that you're gonna need. So please make sure that you send the invite, that you review the presentation, make sure that everything is working. Have the class already. There's an activity that I'm gonna show you um, later. We're gonna have 3 groups. As it is a fast model, it is important that you have everything ready and everything set. And of course, the survey that also needs to be sent at the end of the session just to make sure that we capture the information. In this facilitator's guide, you're going to be able to identify like the time, the activity, what is the purpose of that activity, and the material. So here is going to show you what the slide is, what is the important thing to do, and it's really detailed. So please feel free to review this information, and if you have any feedback, comment, suggestion, please feel free to share it here so we can improve this material. So I'm gonna go over the presentation. I'm not gonna explain the topics, just the general idea and some best practices. So just a reminder, every time that we see here the little I cross, it means that this slide is not gonna be shown once you are presenting. So again, this is the before starting the model, what we need to make sure that it's done. So you are all set for success. So on the first slide here, we're gonna talk about are the class expectations. As we are in a virtual environment, it's really important that we set the expectations that we drive the Mercari way. Important to mute microphone, turn the camera on so we can see their faces and we can see uh, react to the feedback that they're giving. Also, really important, use the chat for any questions. This is gonna help us two things. The first one, we're gonna be able to track and make sure that all the questions are answered. And second one, it's gonna be time effective. Many times they ask questions that are gonna be resolved in the further we move into the presentation. So if we have them there, we're gonna make sure that we cover everything. So this topic is about refunds and returns. This is really into the refunds part. Another important reminder, this is the second part. Before you go over this with your new class, they went into a self-led training. So they already know, they already have the idea of what we're going to be talking about. So that's really important. Okay, so this again is the objectives at the end of the session. So the participants are aware of how to know if this was a successful training or not. This slide is a reminder of the self-led training. That is just to ask them about if they remember the eligible reasons why they can request a refund. Now, it is important to note this in this specific slide, it has a specific animation that it's gonna ask you for a specific clicks. So on the first click, you're gonna have the questions. Make sure you ask for ideas so they can give you some answers. Again, I recommend to use the chat box, but of course, if your class is not that big, you can always ask them to mute themselves and share the information. Once you have tracked some of their answers, you can gather some of the answers. You can click here, you can review, you can see how many they got correct, which ones they were missing, and so on. Then we're going to have this import part about nominal amount over nominal amount. So we can go over it. It's a quick sneak peek about the most important information, what does a refund means, and if the item needs to be returned or not. Then we're going to go to the return and refund process. Now, this is in a scenario based. So it's going to tell a story about Maria. So Maria placed her ordered this amazing lamp. When she received the package, she opened it and it's a set of glasses. So nice glasses, but not what she ordered. So here it's going to tell us a story on how Maria was able to report this, sending the information to Mercari. And well, you guys know how this works. So I'm not going to go into detail about it. What is important here is that you're going to see that some words are a different color. As you can see, all the words that are in orange are emphasizing the time frames, are emphasizing the eligibility for the items, and what are the steps that the seller and the buyer need to take. So it is important that you make sure that you emphasize these words. So at the end, the participants know what are the things that we are emphasizing and the reason behind it, because those are going to be part of the return and refund process. Then, well, here is the story. What happens? The seller receives, Sam is the seller, amazing seller. She just made a boo-boo. So anyway, they return, and then we have here Maria super happy about it. At the end of this session, at the end of this slide, you can go over the clue words, making sure that the process is clear for them and making sure that they understand. In the facilitator's guide, you're going to find here when there's explanation of this specific activity, you're going to see that the story is here. Um, the story is in a different file, so it's easier for you to read it. Please feel free to add your personality if you want to change things. The only thing, make sure that you do not change the parts that are in orange, as again, this is a direct reflection of the policy for the returns. Then we're gonna have a quick break room activity. Um, in the Before the session, I suggest that you already have the class divided, as this is gonna save time. It's gonna talk about there's 3 break rooms, and each one of them have assigned a topic. Now, don't worry about the times. Most of these topics are no more than 5 lines. It's just a paragraph. So it's really easy to read, really easy to understand, but this is going to give us opportunity for them to talk to their peers, prepare a presentation, and then choose a presenter that will share the main idea with the rest of the class. The presentation should not take more than 1 minute. Again, it's really not that heavy content. Also, once you have created the break room activities, make sure that you visit the 3 rooms just to make sure that they feel supported and that they have all the material and all the information that they need to have a successful presentation. So here on this slide, time to share is when they come, you're going to have 3 presenters. It's going to be quick, easy, and the rest of the class are going to hear from the other presenters. So that's going to be great. Questions. So here's a part where we're going to go back to the chat. I recommend that you assign a person to complete the FAQs so they capture all the questions and then you're going to answer them. If the questions were answered during the presentation, most of the times the participants said, oh, never mind, I got my answer. If they are questions that are not related to the topic, please add them to the question parking lot so they are addressed at a different moment. And at this session, we just pay attention to those questions that are related to the topic. And again, the last slide is just a quick recommendation and always emphasizing to use the resources, but we want to guide them to show them what the resources are. So here you can find all of these are links. And then what to expect next. At the end of this session, you're going to send an email where we ask them their feedback about this model, where we're going to check the temperature or how confident they are. And of course, the next activities. So please, again, if you find any type of mistakes, if you want to share your feedback, if you want to change something, make sure to complete this survey so we can keep track and we can have this success together. If you have any question, please call me. You have my email. Happy to help you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.